That's right.
Just in case.
One minute.
All good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this community meeting for an update on the Calgardup fires. This is taking place from Wadandi Peopleman Country, and I would like to pay my respects to their elders past and present. I would like to welcome now the Incident Controller, Brad Barton, for an update. Thank you, Brad.
Thanks very much, Paula. Thank you for offering this opportunity just to live stream. So as of this morning, this afternoon, we've had a really successful day. We're probably a day in front of where we thought we might be. Certainly the local community may have seen quite a cloud of smoke up. That was us edging the southern boundary along Grace Road in and burning out some pockets within the fire area. So the final fire shape and size will be about 7,850 hectares. That should be pretty good once we get ourselves into that place. So our crews have worked extremely hard all day in getting that edging, and certainly the eastern boundary and the northern boundaries of the fire now look really, really good. And then our crews have spent much of the day as well walking roads and checking roads for hazardous trees and starting that tidy up and recovery of the road network. That is going to be ongoing for a considerable period of time, and so to make that safe before we can allow people to access. We have changed some of the wording that the fire is now contained but not controlled. That's due to still some fire activity working in there. We are in the process, there's consideration at the moment to downgrade the alert levels. So people need to continue to monitor the WA emergency site, DEFA site, to look at that. That will, if there's any updates go up, they'll go up on due course. So working on the fire grounds today, we had 75 firefighters from Volunteer Fire and Rescue Services, local bushfire brigades, and DVCA and DEFA, and they worked on controlling the ground and the fire today, and we're supported by 68 personnel in the IMT. Again, the caves and terrain made difficult to access areas, and we've worked pretty hard at trying not to disturb much of those areas, and keeping machinery to road networks for their own safety and for the safety of the area in terms of cave and cast systems. The weather conditions over the next few days, so we're going to get to a tropical 19 degrees in Margaret River tomorrow is the forecast, with some southerly winds. We've got some light misty rain at the moment, so that has really helped us prior to the rain, obviously. With our burnout, it's been much milder conditions, much more tolerable for our firefighters, and allowed us to get in our edging and things in place to contain this fire. There will remain several roads remaining closed. We are in the process of considering whether we can open the Bustle Highway tonight. Again, that will go up on Main Road site or on an emergency WA and then feed through Facebook and other things as to when that will be open. But that will be determined if there is later this evening. And if it's not, then we'll have to reassess tomorrow morning. We again continue to welcome people to the area, but please no non-essential travel near the fire grounds. There's still a lot of activity. It's still hazardous and risky in that area, and a lot of firefighters and machinery working in that area as well. If we can just remind the community to continue to take the situation seriously and monitor emergency WA for updates. Fire is unpredictable, and that we just need, while we're still burning out and got a lot of activity and it's much cooler and things are looking positive, things can go awry at times. So just please continue to take that situation seriously. And as always, our priority has been for the protection of life and property. We have had no report of private residential property loss for this fire. It's been mainly contained to the national park, apart from a small area around the Calgardup community. That still remains closed, unfortunately, given the level of impact on in and around that community, and there's the hazardous trees. So we're working hard to open that up as soon as possible for that community to get back in. So please be tolerant with us on that. It's for your safety that we're keeping you out. I know people wish to get back in there. If there's a really if there's a real need for you to get back in for pets, for livestock, or urgent need, I encourage you to contact the ICC at the moment, and we will consider individual requests for those. With regards to the campsites, and so people would have seen that Conto's last night was a great save for us. We've managed to get back in there and assessed, and there is a significant amount of infrastructure still in place. We've arranged for people to get back in there to reclaim their equipment, and we've done the same with JLD campsite today. They've been in with WA Police to collect that equipment. So that's been great for those people. Western Power has advised that there's still 31 homes in the Calgardup area that are without power. As we've talked about, we'll be working pretty hard with them to get that access into that area and get that reinstated as soon as possible. So working that. Our crews, along with Main Roads and local government, assessing all closed roads at the moment and doing all the hazardous trees. While I've talked about significant saves, there has been, unfortunately, some very significant impact on some of the cave infrastructure in terms of the access into places like lakes, caves. So that's going to be assessed as soon as possible. And yeah, they will take some time to repair and open up. I just remind, no access into Calgardup tonight. That still remains closed. The current situation with schools at both Calgardup and Margaret River Independent School can reopen on Monday. And just reminding people, please stay alert by visiting Emergency WA, calling 13 DFIS, listening to your local radio, or following DFIS on social media. Thanks for your time this evening. I hope this has been helpful for everyone in keeping up to date to where we've got to with the incident today.
Thank you very much, Brad. I will now call upon Nigel Anderson from the Shire of Augusta, Margaret River for his update. Thank you, Nigel.
Thank you, Paula. Please note the recording will be available on the Shire's Facebook, YouTube and website after the meeting. Just an update on the evacuation centre at the Margaret River Recreation Centre is currently on standby. Anyone requiring assistance is requested to contact the Community Disaster Hotline on 1800 032 965. Animal welfare, if you spot any injured wildlife, please contact Wildcare Helpline on 94749055 and you'll be placed in contact with an available fauna specialist. Volunteering opportunities, if you're a registered volunteer working with an agency, please contact your agency directly. Donations, thank you everyone for your concerns and offer of assistance. No donations of goods are required at the evacuation centre and monetary donations are currently not being accepted. For personal support, please contact Crisis Care on 9223 1111, Lifeline 131144, or the Samaritans on 135247. And a reminder, Mindful Margaret River's website is a local mental health resource, mindfulmargaretriver.org.au. Just some information on returning to your properties. People who live in the advice and all clear areas are allowed to return to their properties. Fossil Highway remains closed due to heavy smoke in the area, and people are asked to avoid non-essential travel to fire-affected areas. Please refer to waemergency.gov.au for this information and updates as they change. To make sure you are informed of possible dangers when returning to your property and what to do, please check the bushfire recovery section on the Shire's website. That's amrshire.wa.gov.au/services/environmental health/bushfire recovery. In terms of Shire operations, we're pleased to announce that the facility, Davis Road Recycling and Waste Management Facility, has reopened to the public. However, keep an eye on Emergency WA for the latest information about access to this area and continue to observe road closures as they may change. Rural transfer stations are accessible to residents who have access to these facilities via their cards. These facilities are strictly for residential waste and recycling only. Curbside collection services will continue to operate as normal from Monday the 13th of December. However, some residents within the bushfire area warnings may experience delays in collection of their curbside bins. Missed collections can be reported to Cleanaway directly on 9724 6455. And commercial collections that were missed on their normal collection day on Friday, the 10th of December, will be collected on Saturday. However, further delays may still exist. Missed collection of areas that were previously impacted due to road closures, particularly in those areas accessed off Redgate Road, will be serviced from Monday, the 13th of December. Just a reminder, people are asked to avoid non-essential travel to those fire-affected areas if you're visiting the region. Incident management, there are different warning levels affecting different areas of the Shire. It is important that people stay abreast of the changing information to know which warning area they are in. Please refer to Emergency WA, call DFES 13337 and follow DFES on Twitter, Facebook, the ABC Radio, 6PR or the news bulletins. Please follow directions issued by fire authorities, and if you need emergency support, please call 000. The Shire of Augusta River is playing a support role in the emergency response. This is a state-managed incident. Please continue to refer to official sources of information for critical fire information. On another note, we are now transitioning into recovery, and the Shire is working together with other key stakeholders to ensure that a thorough impact assessment is undertaken once the site is deemed safe to do so. The Shire and its key partners recognise that the fire-affected site has high environmental, cultural and heritage values that will need to be thoroughly assessed as part of informing our future recovery plan. Thanks very much for all that.
Thank you, Nigel. I will call on Brad Barton again to come to the podium, Brad.
Yeah, thank you, Paula. Just a quick update. I've just received some notifications. So we will be reopening the Bustle Highway this evening from 6 p.m. So people, please stay tuned to the Emergency WA site. That's where all the information about changes in alerts and everything will be posted fairly shortly, and information about the road opening. So some pretty good news there. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. I think people will welcome those news. And all that is left for me to do is do thank yous. And so I really appreciate our incident coordinator, Brad Barton. You've been great to work with. All the government agencies that have played their part in managing this incident, and to all the volunteers, of course, out there who are doing a fantastic job. And my thanks also go to the community that has been so calm and so prepared to deal with this issue, and their forbearance and resilience. So many thanks to all involved. These things are not ever managed by one person, so there's been a lot of parties out there. My thanks, and to you, Brad. We don't, do we have any questions? Let me just have a look. Thank you, sir. Great update. Excellent support. No, there is no other questions from the streaming. So thank you all.